Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're watching this. This is Mon Guthrie, and here we give a lot of stories. So, today I got an amazing story to tell you. Please stay tuned to the end. So, today's story, there's this guy living in the city. He left his home as a poor guy and he got to the city and he secured himself a nice job over there. Well, he was married and he had left his family in the village and they were really struggling financially. So the guy opted, instead of being going home now and then, he would just be sending money to his wife in the village. So we need to name this guy. So how about we call him Jack? Now, why do I call him Jack? Jack was, I think, and prove me wrong, was one of the popular names back in the 80s. So this story dates back into those particular times and is the setting is in Africa. So Jack works hard and he usually would get a friend of his who is going into the village and give him a package of his salary to send to his wife. And this guy delivered money to his wife some couple of times. But then, because he noticed this guy has a weakness of traveling home, so just pick the package and just decide not to deliver the money to his wife. Now, there were no cell phones to call, uh, and at that particular time, uh, technology here in Africa was laid back, a little laid back. So people used to communicate using letters a lot of times. So Jack would just decide to know how the wife is doing using his friend. So, and the friend will always come up with the stories that, your family is doing great. I send them the package and they look better than before. So there is even this progress in your family, there's something they're doing. And Jack could buy the idea. So Jack keeps on working, giving the money to this friend of his to deliver to his family. But Jack knew and he was telling his friend, now the time I will go home, everyone will praise me. They saw me live as a poor man. I'm gonna get back there as a wealthy man. And so he was um, arranging for his return home. And so uh, he just made sure that he kept on sending a lot of money so that when he gets home, everyone will just know how good he's become. Now, what happens? Jack gets to this particular time that he decides to go home. Now, he saved a lot and he sent home money home, and some of it is he has it just a little, maybe to pay ticket and all that. But he didn't want to carry money so that people could suspect he has money and people would steal from him, because during the days, people, if they know you got money, they would steal from you. And so Jack used the same method, give some money to his friend and send it home. And so Jack decides to leave for home in the village. So before he leaves, the money he has, he decides he's going to use it to buy a very luxurious and maybe expensive clothing. And he went for a suit. So you can imagine it was maybe khaki back in the days. So he goes into this shop and buys himself a very, very fine uh, suit. He puts it in a shopping bag and says to himself he's not gonna wait until he arrives home. So he goes into the bus and puts his shopping bag into the carrier. Now he sits down, another passenger gets in, and she puts her shopping bag next to Jack's. Now, her shopping bag is quite similar to that of Jack's. But anyways, she knows where she's put hers. Now Jack arrives at his location and takes a shopping bag and gets off the bus. Now he runs into a toilet, which is a pit latrine. This is a toilet that was just built and it has a hole. And this hole, there's no other drainage, just a hole under this shed. So he gets inside there, and he's so he has these old clothes, and he decides he doesn't need these old clothes anymore. He decides to throw them into the pit. So he takes all his clothes off and throws them into the pit. He goes check into the bag, and guess what? Vegetables. It was all vegetables inside there. There were greens and so many things. Vegetables, just in short. Now Jack cannot leave this toilet. He's naked and his clothes are. He dumped his. He put his clothes into the pit of the toilet. So he doesn't have any clothes and he's naked. So Jack stays in that toilet until it gets dark. So by now, the bus has even left. And Jack starts screaming in those dark hours, "Somebody help me!" But there was no one to come and help him. The area was so silent. So of course, Jack would live in the night naked, covering himself with the vegetables, and he rushes. Um, he goes. He by walking, he reaches his home. Now he wanted to surprise his family and the people that he's come home a fulfilled man. He came home naked. There was no money sent home, and there was nothing he could do about any of that situation now. Now, what's the moral of this story? In everything, do not be too sure of the outcome. And this begs for humility. So, see, Jack wanted to show off. When he bought that suit, he wanted to show off to everyone what he had done. So, what if he got home with his suit on? Still, his wife would not be happy because he was wearing this suit and she had never received anything from Jack to support the family. Now, even though Jack was actually doing it, his friend was not there. And so, just expecting anything could happen and not being too sure, it helps a lot with whatever the outcome is. See you in the next one.